put yourself in someone else's shoes and really just be honest. So be honest from slave times. Be honest to, when people say nag or whatever, ask them to take you back to the year when, everyone had the same opportunities and everyone could walk freely in their communities and didn't have to worry about, somebody, hanging them or, assaulting them. So those are the things that we really have to think about. We have to address, and then we have to hold, leadership, from the top, top down, everyone accountable across the board. And, even if it comes to stop spending our dollars, that's where it hurts. And I think that's the big thing now. I think these companies got the message, and I think a lot of companies stood up to the plate, but we have to take advantage of this opportunity.
There's an easy metaphor for Black Lives Matter. If a white person says all lives matter to you, it's just break it down, but it's very easy. If your house gets hit by lightning and all the other houses around you are not hit, which house matters? That's all you have to say to them. All the houses matter, but the house that's hit by lightning, that's the house you need to care for, right? And this is what's happening to us. And that's all you need to tell them. If they don't understand that, then they're not trying to understand your position or your situation. And we don't have to cower. See, we've been cowering to them for so long. We're afraid to speak. We're afraid to talk back. We're afraid to stand up. And even the people who claim they want to represent us, they do it within limits. Celebrities can't say everything because their careers are dependent on what they say. If they say the wrong thing, even Jordan, believe it or not, you guys may think Michael Jordan is the most powerful athlete ever, but he's not. He's very powerless. Michael Jordan doesn't even own his name. Okay, the Jordan brand makes what, $4 or $5 billion a year? Jordan gets a check for $110 million. You're a slave to your own name. You understand? But the problem is that black folks tend to be very dependent on the system, and we've gotten accustomed to it. Now, somebody like LeBron James, what did he do? He followed the blueprint that Jordan started. Instead of coming out with some LeBron James, a brand new sneaker that every black person in here could go and buy to support LeBron directly, what did he do? He signed with Nike. Every other black athlete that comes out, right? Nike gives them $100 million for 10 years. Meanwhile, their sneakers are making $500-600 million a year. We complain about our social media site. These are things that I talk about on a daily basis. How many millionaires do we know that can come together and build a platform that black people worldwide can have access to? We don't want to do it because we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. See, this is our dependency. We need to move away from that. So when you're saying Black Lives Matter, you also have to take the action so that they understand, oh, if we shut down, listen, if 500 million black people move away from Facebook, guess what? The value of Facebook will go down. But do you have the discipline to really show that Black Lives Matter?
So at this point, I kind of want to get you guys involved. And so does anybody have any questions for the panel up here? Anything that they want to know or talk about? Any ideas? Yes, sir.
Hello everybody, my name is Maurice. So I guess it's more like a statement because I did see a few posts on social media basically talking about how, us boycotting a lot of the major brands and this, that, and the third or whatever, but I do feel like there's a certain stigma connected to in the black community with spending the money or the black dollar or whatever you want to call it, spending it with black people and just the experiences that you might have at a black business, maybe waiting a little bit longer sometimes for your food or maybe the homeboy, homegirl activity that goes on a lot of the time. So they feel like, oh, if we're boycotting these major brands, say the Chick-fil-A situation. Chick-fil-A, you're coming in, they always have a smile, you get your food real quick, and then it's like you go to the spot on the corner, and like the other day, it's a place that's real good, it's across the street from me, and I really love it. But I have to prepare my brain every time I go because I'm like, I know I'm gonna be waiting 45 minutes. It's good, but I know I'm gonna have to wait 45 minutes. So I think that's also something that plays a part in people's discipline, as you even said just now.
Okay. Here's our problem. We're addicted to convenience. You understand? We're addicted to the convenience they provide for us. If you go to Chick-fil-A is a huge corporation, so you can't really compare Chick-fil-A to a mom and pops, even though you love the food. But remember, when you go to Chick-fil-A, they got people out in the drive-thru, they got people inside, they got people everywhere. If I'm a mom and pop store, I can't afford to hire all these people. That's one. Second, we're willing to go to a Chinese food place, right? We have to hand them our money behind a partition, a bulletproof partition, and sometimes bars, and we wait in that filthy corridor or waiting area. It's like you don't even want to lean against anything because it's so dirty. Dirty food from them. Well, we don't even know how the food is prepared. If the front of the business is like that, you can just imagine what the back is like. And in addition, when you go downtown, right, to one of these white-owned restaurants or brands or whatever, you have to worry about that waitress not being racist. So you put yourself in a compromising position where you are basically at their mercy. If they happen to be racist, they can be rude to you. They can spit in your food. They can do a whole lot to you. But you're not thinking about that. You know why? Because you are conditioned to the convenience.
Let us not, when we talk about being patrons of these businesses, a lot of them are small businesses. Don't just be a patron. Invest in it. If it's not a big business, you should be able to talk to an owner. If it's not a big business, you should be able to go in and talk to a manager. So it should be at least a manager or owner there. So when you walk in and like Rich was saying, understand they're not giving black people the same business loans. When you applying for that loan, they're gonna give you on the front end, they're gonna give you a lower loan. They don't trust you. Black dollar don't circulate. White people ain't gonna come visit your organization. So you just gotta worry about what? 10%, maybe 10% of 13% of the population, or whatever the population is in your area. But when we talk about these places, Chick-fil-A can pay $15 an hour. We gotta get what we can get until we get the patrons, until we get the dollars in, because it also is organizations that have good customer service. I went to a Jamaican restaurant yesterday. Took me the longest time to get basically cafeteria food, and I waited. I loved it. I ain't gonna shout it out too loud, but I loved it. But sometimes it is a mental preparation, but it also is communication. Talk to that manager, because they probably hiring somebody they can get at the lowest wage, somebody this ain't a career for them, so this is just their job. They not paying no tuition reimbursement like Chick-fil-A might. You can't get part ownership in the business because you work more hours. This is their job, and they might not take as much pride in it. So it's a part of it is understanding, but hold your moral ground and say, hey, let me holler at a manager. I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble, but we got to do better. Because when if I come into your house, that means one, I know you personally, and two, you gonna treat me better just off the strength of we know each other. I recognize you. Hey, make sure you take care of him. I've heard that before when I went into some establishments. Hey, make sure you take care of them. So that's the part that we got to do. We can't just go, give them our money, get mad and say, oh, I don't deal with them, they got bad attitude. You go to your barber, my barber treat me nice. If somebody just to walk in, he ain't gonna treat him like crap. It's gonna be respect, but I get extra treatment. And we got to build rapport when we go into these businesses as well.
Oh, yeah, I I was just playing devil's advocate to a certain extent on that point. But I also do feel like we just have to do a little bit better in the black community with professionalism, and it just comes down to it. Even so, sometimes it's not even, it's a certain, I'm not gonna say prejudice, but within the black community sometimes, because even if you're articulate, sometimes you get treated a little bit better. Like with me, even the other day, like the spot I was just telling y'all about, I come in there, I kind of, maybe my demeanor might be, get my food together, like make sure I'm trying not to curse, but make sure my stuff is on point. I don't know, but the guy was behind the counter. It was one of the other guys, another guy came in, a customer came in, and he had his pants sagging. He was, a hood boy, I guess you could say. And he was, the guy was like, that was behind the counter, the one that worked there, he's like, oh, social distancing, y'all, so I'm gonna have to get everybody out. And I'm like, oh, well, I just walked across the street. He's like, oh, no, you good, or whatever. And I'm like, actually, I've only been there like 3 times. This is these people community. I come from Virginia. So these people have been around here. But I guess I felt the way I was articulating myself, my demeanor, the way I came off to him, the way he treated me, by me sitting back just watching and observing him communicate with people that he probably grew up with, it didn't give a professional atmosphere. And sometimes that can turn people off. Next thing you know, if old boy was like, dog, who you talking to? It would have turned into another situation. So it's kind of like the professionalism of it all. It's kind of like you have to have that all the way around. And like I said, I definitely understand the Chick-fil-A situation is a bit, when you have more money to put in. But I will say, don't get me wrong, the South has a good way of sometimes having those people that, baby, how you doing today? That those vibes, that mom, that auntie, that the hospitality of it all. They do have sometimes a way of doing that. But then sometimes you might go to the Chick-fil-A or the McDonald's or wherever the case may be, and it's almost like, what you want? Like, that's the vibes. So it's kind of like, we have to, I don't know if it's school, I don't know if it's organization-wise, girls and boys clubs, whatever the case may be, teach this professionalism or a certain amount of professionalism that we can give even to our own community. Because sometimes we get around white people and we automatically, hey, how you doing? We know how to, but then we get around black and we feel like we can chill. Oh, or you're a waiter, you like, oh, okay, I'll get that table. Those are homies, but we don't even know you. So it's kind of like I said, back to the professionalism aspect.
So my question for that would be, we go to McDonald's, right? You go to McDonald's every day and you get bad customer service, but yet half y'all still go back, right? And probably not every day, but you at least don't go to McDonald's one time. So why don't we give that black business owner the one more time? And I feel like sometimes we're our worst critics and we're so hard on our own people, and you don't have to be that way. So at this point, we do have a lot of business owners in here, and I would like to just hear the business owner's perspective. So we have horticulture here, and I would like to know what she has to say about not being professional as a black business because you're black.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into it, right? And I'm Ashley Thomas, by the way. And I created a website, horticulture.com. And what it does is it merges and brings all black-owned products into one place. And so the biggest thing that I wanted to do was change the perception of dealing with a black business, right? By changing, and how you change that, it starts with investing in tools that help make things faster, get you what you want faster. We shop at Amazon all the time, right? Why do we shop there? You get your package like tomorrow. Today even now, they're making it even faster every day. And so those are little small things that we can do as a community to help our other locations and stores that we like to go to all the time by first being patient, right? Because most likely they might not have the income coming in to invest in the tools like that. So we do have to go and patronize those locations. Another thing that would help is just making sure that, you're telling other people about those businesses to help spread the word, to help circulate our dollars. Because a lot of times, you know, we've all been to different locations that don't put back into our community. And so we need to make a conscious effort to put our money back into ourselves. And the only way that's going to happen is if we start with ourselves.
All right, I wanted to just cover this right quick. I'm sure you have 4 people up here, right? I can almost guarantee you, maybe not, that all of us are first generation college graduates. Are you a first generation? Are you first generation? Okay. These are the exceptions. So this is like 75% of us are first generation college graduates. 90% of the black businesses that you go to, that you patronize, first generation business owners. So you have to take that into account. Myself, I have listen, it was baptism through fire for me, for many of my businesses, because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a guide. No one was there to hold my hand and say, you need to do this way or that way. So when you go into a business, especially that provides service, they don't have the experience. These are people that just decided, okay, we're going to build a business. They don't know anything about customer service if that's not their background. Your grandma might know how to cook. Doesn't mean your grandma has fed the whole community. You understand? So she has not had the interaction with enough people to understand, oh man, I'm not getting this right. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of black people in our position in society before we judge. And we have to sort of like be patient. And I'm not saying to wear out your patience, but like he says, most black business owners, you can approach them and be like, look, I really didn't like the service today. I don't know what happened. I don't know if so-and-so is having a bad day. You know, I'm here, or I love your food. I'm here all the time. I want to keep coming here. But please, just make sure you talk to so-and-so or adjust the attitude a little bit for me. That's all that I ask. It's very simple. We don't have to take offense to what someone may not be aware that they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, we let down our guards. When we see white people, hey, how you doing? But when we see, especially black men, we want to act hard, like, dog, don't look my way. You know what I'm saying? But when we see white people, hey, how you doing? You understand? So they instill that in us. We have to get rid of it.
I agree with what was said. I'm just big on respect across the board. So if I patronize your business, I want respect. You know, I think that's just the #1 thing with business. You can be slow. I can take that, but at least when I walk through the door, you know, have respect. And also being able to articulate what's going on. We only have 2 people, you know, it's going to be a little bit, I think that's very important. But I think only way we come up as a society or community is we have to set higher standards for ourselves. So, you know, I'm out with Nigel all the time. He know my first thing. Like, if the business not on point, you know, he already know I'm done with it. You know, I tip, you know, I do everything I need to do the right way, but it's setting the bar at a higher standard, and you'll see that. It's the same thing with how people perceive you. If you don't have respect for yourself, nobody is going to respect you. And it's the same thing when you go to these businesses. You know, we have to, you know, no matter who owns it, they have to treat you with respect. And if they don't, then, you know, they won't get those dollars. And I do agree that we can have conversations, but how many times do we have to have conversations with these different businesses? You know, it's so much, it's a wealth of knowledge out here for, you know, people to really get, you know, the tools and resources that they need, you know, with the internet, you know, just being able to network. There are a lot of successful minorities out here. So I just think we have to hold each other to a higher standard. And also, that's what's going to get us noticed by other people. We can't even expect to even get these other people to want to come into these businesses if we can't handle the business that we need to. So I just think it's very important that we... Absolutely. Absolutely.
bills. Oh man, I gotta pay. I gotta pay rent this week. I gotta pay my employees this week. I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just telling you. Sometimes when you walk into a business, you have to take certain things. If it's a business that's been around for 30 years, yeah, they should know that. You understand what I'm saying? But if it's a new business, these people have to get acclimated to serving customers.
Absolutely, I agree. Only thing I was saying that, me really being out spending money on a regular basis, it's just something that you see too often. So I'm saying that narrative has to change, and it starts with us being able to hold each other to a higher standard. And I agree that I said in the beginning that we come from behind, but it's at a point that, we can catch on now. We can get some of these resources we need. Now, I'm not saying we are where Chick-fil-A is, but how do we get there? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change the narrative, and it starts with the things that we do.
Yeah, so I got a question for you, gentlemen. Hey guys, my name is Nigel Sims. I'm a part of Blood Talk, former state representative candidate, NAACP member. I've held office there. So here's my question. So how do we, and this is one of the major things that I ran into a lot during my campaign and just along the way, how do we educate our people, our youth, while also teaching them consistency? So when I say educate, meaning you gentlemen seem like smart individuals, so it's way deeper than what you learned at the schoolhouse. Once you take that, have that, it's slanted. So you got to go and read your own books. You got to, go pick up Alex Haley, W.D. Du Bois, do your own research. Find out where your people are from. Find out, that whole process. I mean, it dates back, and it even falls into religion, which, a lot of people, they can't handle the discussion of talking about religion because everybody Christian, but it's deeper than that. So y'all know what I'm talking about. But so, how do you educate them to understand that? Because I feel like if they understand that, then that would help our people be more consistent in the fight. Because so often, we show up, but then it's so easy to change the narrative. It's so easy for someone to point us over in this direction, and then we mob in that way, but the problem's over here. So I just want to know you guys, want to know what you guys think about that, because right now the education, we're behind on the education part, and so even with the riots, see a lot of people that's out there, a lot of people just out there just doing some other stuff, but getting them to understand what it's truly about, and that way they'll remain consistent in the cause. Because I don't want to see 2 or 3 weeks go by and then everybody back to, you know what I'm saying? I've seen that. We done sung that song. I've seen it play out like that too many times. So to develop that consistency, I think they need to be educated. But how do you educate somebody on how deep it is when it's so easy to have the narrative fit for us?
One of the things I said earlier had to do with mentorship. So, as my brother Rich said, most of us first generation college students, college graduates. Even though I'm not a first generation, my dad wasn't in my house. He didn't pass along what I believe needed to be passed along. So I don't want to claim it, but by default, I'm kind of, in that boat. But there's things that when you got to your first job, you didn't know. When you got to your first job, you didn't know. You knew you were a savant. You just knew what was taught to you. You didn't know how to explore what you didn't know. And so the reality is somebody should have pulled you in. Sometimes it's somebody that looked like you, and sometimes it's not. But for us, it needs to be somebody. There's somebody that looked like you. There's somebody in your organization. There's somebody in your community that looks like you and taking a path